Right. All right. So, part 2 of our little consultation. So quick recap: the nutrition goal that we came up with, for you, was to gain some more weight, healthy weight, build on some muscle mass, and just overall have more energy throughout the day when you're training and stuff. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Beautiful. So, we are going to go through each of your answers to the how many servings you have each day of the 5 different food groups, and then into a little bit about discretionary foods, what kind of things we can be increasing, decreasing, that sort of thing. So, you ready to get into it?
Yep.
Beautiful. So, let's start with vegetables. So, the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating suggests that you should be having 5 serves of vegetables a day.
Yep.
How does that make you feel when you hear that?
It makes sense.
It makes sense? Yeah. Do you feel like it's somewhat where you're at now? Or where you could be?
Not there, but I could be. Like, it's definitely attainable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think in our first response, you said that you have about 2 to 3 serves per day of vegetables. Yeah. Which is a good start. A lot of people don't have any in their diet, or they're sitting on 1 to 2 serves. Because remember, a serving is half of a medium potato, half a cup of cooked vegetables. When you're having veggies, when you're getting potatoes, you're not just having one half of a potato. Like, you're having a couple potatoes, which would be 2 or 3 serves.
Yeah.
So, it's not a difficult thing to approach for someone like you who enjoys broccoli, who enjoys potatoes and stuff, because when you're having it, you're not just having a half cup.
Yeah.
You're probably having a cup. You're probably having a cup and a half.
Yeah.
Like a couple potatoes. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
sort of thing. So I think that's something, 5 is definitely something that we're not going to have any problem moving into.
Achievable.
Yeah. So, and I reckon you'll find when you start kind of having a look at your day in eating and that sort of thing, you'll find how much more you're actually consuming that you don't even think about. Like, when you sit down and have dinner this week, make a conscious effort to think about what kind of food you're putting on your plate. Once you've made your plate up, have a look at it and just think about, like, that's definitely not half of a potato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So, we're sitting at about 3 servings a day, looking for 5.
Yep.
So, for fruit, the recommended serving is 2 serves a day.
Yep.
Because fruit is high in natural sugar, which is good, but in moderation, just like any type of sugars. So, we said in our initial consultation, we were sitting at about...
Usually about 1, sometimes.
Yeah, 1 serve. So, 1 is not bad. Again, really good starting point. You're just wanting to hit more of that second piece during the day. So, maybe your cup of juice in the morning and then an apple in the afternoon or a banana in the afternoon. But make sure it's something that you enjoy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some fruits, like when you're trying to incorporate food into your diet that you don't normally do, you got to start it with the things that you would enjoy to make it a little bit easier.
Yep.
I find that's something that works for me.
Yep.
When I was trying to incorporate more veggies into my diet, I know that I really like broccoli and I really like carrot. I don't so much love eggplant. I don't love zucchini. So when I'm incorporating it, I'm not going to just jump straight in and do roast zucchini and roast pumpkins.
Yeah.
It's not something that I enjoy. I enjoy broccoli and carrot and those sorts of things. So I'm incorporating them. And then you can slowly get used to other things. But don't be afraid that it means all veggies, all fruits. You got to do something that you enjoy. Especially when you only get 2 serves.
Yeah.
Anyway. Next one. So you were sitting at about 1. So a little bit of improvement.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy with it already.
Yeah.
Grains. The recommended serving is 4 to 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Which serves a day, pardon me. Which is honestly pretty close to where you said you were as well. So you said 4 to 5 serves a day. So you're pretty much bang on with your servings of grains and bread and cereals, that sort of thing during the day. I think that the types of food you're eating, rice, bread, your toast in the morning, pasta, they're really good and you're having them in a good moderation. you're having them as a complementary food to another thing. So eggs and toast, and then pasta and chicken, like those sorts of things. So I think you're really on track for those ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to put 5 as your current servings, just sitting on that higher end. Dairy and other products such as the recommended serving for that one is actually, I've lost it, apologies, 2.5 to 4. So kind of a big gap there. But it depends on your body, that sort of thing. So with no dairy intolerances, obviously it's good for you to be sitting within that bracket. But again, this includes your eggs, your poultry, that sort of stuff. So no, it doesn't. I don't know why I said that. This includes your like milk and cheese and that sort of stuff, like yogurt. So you're not having it heaps a day, but you're probably having it 2-3 times a day. You're having it in your coffee, or you have a cup of milk in your coffee. You got a cup of thing for yogurt, cup of yogurt for breakfast. So you said you were sitting at about 2 to 3 serves a day, which is right in the sweet spot. If you're sitting at that 3, I reckon that's right in the sweet spot where you should be. So having a little, like, bit of milk, having a bit of yogurt here and there, cheese in your pasta, that's really good. Like those sorts of things, again, in moderation, are actually really good for you, because they're a really good source of calcium. And dairy is good for bone health, bone growth, which your bones support your muscles. So it's important that you got strong bones. Anyway, so the next one is lean meats. Now this one might surprise you as the recommended serving. But the recommended serving size for lean meats is 2.5 to 3 serves per day. And in our conversation, you said that you were sitting at about... I think we were looking at 5 to 6. Oh, you said 2 to 3. Maybe I clicked the wrong thing. I think I've typed the wrong button there. How many do you reckon you have a day?
I was thinking more like 4 plus.
4 plus? Yeah. So, you are in a high protein diet currently, yes? So, you're high calorie, high protein. So, you're having lots of chicken, I think. Chicken. So, that's where lots of your meat comes from. And lots of egg. I think if you're sitting on that higher end of 3 to 4, I think you're doing pretty good in your surplus. But again, within my scope of practice, I do recommend trying to stick as close as you can to those guidelines. They're there for a reason. They are a suggestion, obviously, just based on general population. But if protein or something is what you're looking for, that's where we might do a referral to someone who can do like a supplement. Prescribe a supplement, like that sort of thing. Because it's not just protein in those meats and stuff. Too much meat can have like bad consequences on your body. So for me, I think sticking to those guidelines doesn't mean like you can't be having pasta and chicken, you can't be having those, obviously keeping those eggs and chickens and stuff is important. But maybe speaking to like an accredited dietitian who can like prescribe supplements and that sorts of thing, because a protein supplement has other nutrients in it as well. That could be good, but I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm not qualified. So I'm not going to give you advice. So the main things that we had that were not really meeting the criteria, but the only one that was really close to meeting the criteria was your dairy. Well, really your fruit, dairy and grains doing really well. I'm happy with them. Obviously, we want to try and be getting that extra serve of fruits in there during the day. But your grains and dairy, you're sitting in the sweet spot. Like, not too much, not too little. Getting enough in terms of like a healthy amount of carbs, healthy amount of dairy. Still being able to build your muscles, build your bones, that sort of thing, making it's a healthy amount, which I'm quite happy with. Vegetables, we want to pump that up. we want to be aiming for 2 more serves a day.
Yeah.
So total 5 serves. This can be just pumping it up when you're having it with dinner.
Yeah.
So when you would normally grab 2 or 3 pieces of broccoli, get the extra 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Add on your extra potato, that sort of thing. Like, we want to be increasing that one because that's where your energy is going to come from. As I said in our previous thing, your green vegetables are going to be boosting your iron, boosting your energy.
Yeah.
And that's just what it's going to take you on. So when you're having your salad and it's on the table, when you're getting your palmy at the pub,
Yeah.
no salad.
Yeah.
Got to get the salad with it, alright?
Yeah.
That's where you got a whole rounded meal. Alright. So, looking at your discretionary servings, you said you're looking anywhere between 7 and 14, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, times a week.
Yeah.
So, that's minimum once a day, maximum twice a day.
Yeah.
Your discretionary eating, not yours, but in general, discretionary eating should be kept to like an absolute minimum.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing, but I go through the perspective that no food is bad in moderation.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that goes with discretionary eating. It's
Yeah.
not bad to have some of those things here and there,
Yeah.
but it's not a good habit to be in it every day,
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
times a day. So when we're doing discretionary eating, thinking about the substitutes that we could be making. Like you said, you really enjoy chocolate because it's sweet. When you feel that like sugar, you want
Yeah.
something sweet, you want something quick. What can we be substituting with that? Like, should we have a bit of watermelon because that is sweet, strawberries,
Yeah.
that's sweet. And I don't know if you like strawberries, I think
No.
you've mentioned before, yeah. So finding something that you like that's a good substitute,
Yeah.
that's healthy, and doing that would also help you boost up your other food groups during the day.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're low in fruits area, so how about instead of that bit, have some fruit, and then
Yeah.
bang, you've reached your target for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The strategies that we've got in order to meet these sorts of suggestions and meet the recommendations and what we need to adjust, increase, decrease. I think you like to meal prep.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at being more intentional with our meal prep.
Yeah.
Yes, what's convenient and what's high protein, high calorie, but also thinking about what's in it. So when we're doing our chicken and creamy pasta, throw peas in it. Like,
Yeah.
peas are just such a good little substitute to
Yeah.
just chuck in there. They fill up the meal, they beef up the meal, and bang, that's a serve of vegetables every day.
Yeah.
And you're up from 3 to 4 already, and now you just need the 1 extra.
Yeah.
So doing things like that is what's going to, and those substitutes that I talked about, when you want craving the sweet thing, having your bit of fruit, that kind of thing, that's what's really going to help you meeting those guidelines.
Yeah.
And then once you're sitting at the spot where you're meeting the suggestions, then you can do a reassessment and be like, what's working? How do I feel now? Am I better? Do I feel better? Do I feel not as good? And then we can reassess and decide if this is something that we would want to refer onto like an accredited dietitian,
Yeah.
in terms of creating an actual meal plan every day down to day dot, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of those guidelines, I think that if we're meeting those serving suggestions, I think that we'll start to see a bit of improvement in terms of energy.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing that I reckon.
Yeah.
Is your first step to work on, because if you're tired at the gym, you're not going to want to train as hard, and that
Yeah.
doesn't help with
Yeah.
building muscle. So if we're working on that energy part first, then we can deal with gaining muscle, gaining weight.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Do you have any concerns about trying to adjust your diet to kind of meet those criteria?
With what you've said, no, not really. Like
Yeah.
the way you've summed it all up.
Yeah.
The only thing is sometimes like convenience.
Yeah.
But the way you've put it is like instead of going after something sweet, like chocolate, I could go after something and get something like watermelon in me
Yeah.
that would also satisfy my needs, but
Yeah.
at the same time be a much better option.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
I think you've done it real well.
Thank you. But in terms of that convenience aspect, that is
Yeah.
100% an issue that a lot of people have, and that's where those discretionary foods come in. That's where fast food comes in. You've just finished work, you're freaking exhausted, you don't feel like coming home and cooking a whole meal. You're just going to drive through because it's right there, it's right on the side of the road, it's convenient. You're at home, you want something sweet, there's a whole watermelon there that hasn't been cut up yet, or there's like a half open block of chocolate. What are you going to do? You're probably not going to want to dirty your dishes and do that thing. This is where a little bit of that, number one, discipline, telling yourself it's important to be meeting these guidelines for your own health, for your goals, but also something we can do, because you've said that you like to enjoy meal prepping, like you enjoy doing that at the start of the week. Maybe stretch out a little bit longer and meal prep some of your snacks. Cut up all your watermelon on a Sunday. That way when you go into the fridge and you're like, I really want something sweet, it's there, it's cut up already, it's good to go. So those are those type of things that will just make it a little bit easier, work on those convenience. You're already a meal prepping king, so I don't feel like dinner and lunch is as much of a hassle, because you just come home, you know what you're going to have. But I think some of those meal prepping your snacks and your breakfast, I think that's where it's going to be coming in, and adding a couple more things to your meal prep. Just shaking it up a little bit, I reckon. Do a couple weeks of that, see how you go, see how you're feeling. And then, of course, we can, reassess where we're at afterwards. So, I think for now, we aren't looking into a referral. Is that right? Are you interested at looking at supplements yet, or kind of waiting to see how this plays out and then
just waiting to see.
Cool. So, like I said, we'll do this for a couple weeks. See how we go. If we come back and you don't feel like you're meeting a protein intake, you're feeling the kind of energy that you're after, then we can have a look at it, like I said earlier, like a GP for looking at your iron, or going to an accredited dietitian in terms of a supplement for your protein intake, that kind of thing. Beautiful. Well, that is lovely. We will meet back here and have our third part in a moment. But let's have a little bit of a look and a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back.
Sweet, thank you.
Cool, no worries.